It's important that every American understand what propaganda is and who peddles propaganda. It happens on the left, it happens on the right. As a matter of fact, that's what politics is. Politics is a PR campaign. It's propaganda, and it's meant to get people to have their beliefs and their perceptions deeply influenced. So the guy that you see on the screen right here, his name is Sean Farage. He is a Trump impressionist, and he does a really good Trump impersonation, but he's got a podcast called Ungoverned, ironically, and he is talking about the exchange between Kristen Welker and Donald Trump on the Meet the Press interview. And if you want to take a look at that a little bit more in depth, specifically about what Trump said about his relationship with the Constitution, I encourage you to check that out. I'll leave the link in the description in the pinned comment, but I want to show you Sean Farage rightly calls Kristen Welker a propagandist. But Sean Farage is also a propagandist because he is also peddling his selective facts, emotional appeals, and outright falsehoods on the Donald Trump side, on the, hey, you got to trust the plan side. Hey, this is 4D chess. Trump can do no wrong. Listen to how pathetic this is right here. And I'm going to show you what Sean Farage chooses not to show you from the Meet the Press interview. Check this out.
Ready? Donald Trump, Kristen Welker. This is an excerpt about, Kristen Welker said, well, some people are panicking on Wall Street. Donald Trump didn't want to hear that question, and so he handled it the best way possible. Take a look.
Some people on Wall Street have expressed concerns that the possibility of a recession is increasing. And I want to know what you think about that. Are you comfortable with the country potentially dipping into a recession for a period of time if you are able to achieve your long-term goals?
Well, you say some people on Wall Street say, well, I tell you something else. Some people on Wall Street say that we're going to have the greatest economy in history. Why don't you talk about them?
On the backs of tariffs, what Wall Street representative or what hedge fund manager is saying, no, we're going to have this is going to be the best economy ever. Bring on the tariffs. With tariffs looming over, and we don't even have the prices that have come out as a snowball effect to these tariffs that are coming out. Are you kidding? Name the person, Trump. Name the person who says we're going to have a roaring economy in the next 4 years. If we keep on this trajectory, everything's going to be okay. Wait till you hear the lies that come out of Trump's mouth. And again, Kristen Welker is a propagandist for fake stream CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird MK Ultra Media. But Sean Farage is no less a propagandist. And Pope Donald Trump is no less a liar.
Because some people on Wall Street say this is the greatest thing that ever happened.
That's what I'm getting at, though. It's the same question.
Yeah, there are many people on Wall Street say this is going to be the greatest windfall ever happened.
There you go. Donald Trump saying, well, hold on a second. You always say there's some people, and they always bring up the bad people, right? Some people did something.
The bad people, the people who look at the economy and they're like, yeah, we're not heading in a very good direction. I mean, if you look at the charts, you look at the graphs, and you look at the trajectory and the roads we've traveled before and the things that have happened like this, things ain't looking good. And it's not just people on Wall Street. There are respected economists. I'm not talking about Keynesian economists. I'm talking about Austrian economists are saying, this is not good. We are heading in a bad economic direction. And yet Sean Farage is right there ready with the wet wipe to wipe Trump's ass every time he says something and to lay cover for him. I don't hear this guy, and you won't hear this guy in this episode, lay down any constructive criticism against Trump. It's always rah, rah, rah. He's always got the pom-poms out, ready to just beat the drum for Donald Trump is the greatest thing, man. Yeah, he should be Pope. He should be president for another term. I'm not saying he said that, but that's how he acts.
Yesterday was Star Wars Day. The Phantom Menace was on. Jar Jar Binks came on. That is Ilhan Omar. 100%. Andrew Wilkow, by the way, came up with that. Andrew Wilkow. You see Jeremy making the request in the chat, too. Yeah. Feed the Sasquatch. The hat is behind me. Go. Up there. She's got to be combative when she interviews Donald Trump. She has to feel big and tough, right? Here we go. Here's another one. Donald Trump. I like the fact that he's calling it out this way. Basically, he's saying, you keep asking me questions with a negative angle. Why do you do that? Well, because they're the fake news. Watch.
Media is so fake, including like even the way you ask questions. Every question is asked in a negative vein. There's a toy company that took a toddler's, whatever, but you don't talk about the fact that gasoline is down at numbers that nobody believes possible. You know why they're down, by the way? Drill, baby, drill. We're drilling like
that. Ain't happening in my area. Is gas really down? Is gas at numbers at the pumps in your community down at numbers you never thought possible? This guy can't tell the truth to save his life. But wait, there's more.
Crazy right now.
We try to make sure every question is fair.
Gas prices are literally not down. They're up.
Mr. President.
Look, every question
Since January, since the inauguration.
You ask says a very negative slant.
No, but look, I'm just curious.
I'm fine for responding to you. I don't think you're very difficult at all to respond to be honest with you. But you know what? You should ask some positive things like, sir, it's amazing what you've done with gasoline. Because you know what? Gasoline's big business. A stroller is not big business.
Yeah, he's right. You know what? They come out, someone was pointing out that, children's dolls are going to be more expensive because a lot of them come from China. And, Trump kind of said this. I think he said this with Welker. So basically, do you need 17 dolls? Like, why can't you just stick with 3?
It's something that a 5th grader would say. The economy doesn't operate in a vacuum. If the doll prices are rising and Donald Trump said, then maybe you just need 2. Maybe you don't need 30. Maybe you don't need 17. Sean Farage is saying the same thing, but that's not all we get from China. We get lithium from China. We get computer parts and automotive parts from China. And those are going to go up too. And it's going to wreck the economy. And the tariff prices haven't even come in yet. Listen to this guy.
And people are like, oh, he's the Grinch, now you can't buy toys for your kids, blah, 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 blah. No. It's not what he's saying. But he is kind of saying stop spoiling your children.
That is what he's saying. Maybe you buy less. Maybe those few dolls are going to be a little bit more expensive. Maybe that crescent wrench is also going to be more expensive. Maybe those spark plugs, maybe that computer part, maybe the whole computer is going to be more expensive. Maybe lumber is going to go up. But they're sitting here focusing just their little myopic view. They're just sitting here focusing on dolls, focusing on strollers, picking those things out right there. And that's what propagandists do. They cherry pick and they obfuscate the real facts. They don't talk about the facts. And we're going to talk about the facts here in a second, but I want you to listen to this guy. This is a rightist propagandist, just as Kristen Welker is a leftist propagandist.
In that sort of way, right? But what's more important? No, let's ask honestly. Let's ask honestly, right? What is more important? The price of Barbie dolls and strollers being lower, or the price of gas being lower? I would say once the price of gas comes down, right? The price of a lot of things come down because it lowers the cost of energy, which inherently lowers the cost of doing business. Here's Trump essentially reinforcing that point right here, again, with Kristen Welker.
Prices are already going up on some popular items, tires, strollers.
This is such a dishonest interview already. Prices are down on groceries. Prices are down for oil.
I can't believe Kristen Welker said right. He said prices are down on groceries.
Down for all energy. Prices are down at tremendous numbers for gasoline. And let me tell you, when you have the big thing, what he did, he spent like a stupid person, which he was, but he spent like a very stupid person. And that was bad for inflation.
And Donald Trump, who signed a $6.2 trillion stimulus package that was only supposed to be $2.2, it had an additional $4 trillion backstop in it for the Federal Reserve, ended up being $6.2 trillion for one signature. That's not going to do. Unleashing all of those funds and all that fiat currency into the money supply isn't going to cause prices to rise. It absolutely does, and it absolutely did. And he gave a lot of that money to corporate elitists and the big pharma industrial complex under the name of Convid 1984 by George Orwell, which James Bullard from the Federal Reserve in St. Louis said this is a organized shutdown of the U.S. economy, and Trump played a part in it. And he's sitting here blaming Obama, and Sean Farage isn't going to say anything about that because he's in the tank for Trump, and he's a rightist propagandist. And Trump and these stories that he weaves, that Sean Farage weaves, is what butters his bread. That's downright evil, downright dishonest of Sean Farage to lay cover for this charlatan. Let me just show you before Trump continues to go on. I can't believe Kristen Welker just agreed with Trump on this right here. Grocery prices are not down, they're up. Grocery prices have risen since Trump took office in January 2025. And this is from Grok, guys. This is from the AI that was created by Elon Musk and Elon Musk engineering team. The consumer price index shows a 0.49, a 0.5% increase from February to March 2025, with food at home prices up 2.4% year over year. Egg prices specifically jumped 5.9% in March. How about fuel? Nope. Trump was wrong on that too. False. The national average price was $3.08 per gallon on January 20th, 2025. That's Inauguration Day, and is slightly increased to around $3.17 to $3.19 by early May. Claims of $1.98, $1.88 per gallon in some states are unsupported by AAA or Gas Buddy. Let me ask you, are you paying $1.98? Are you paying $1.88 for gas prices? Or is Trump just a frickin' liar? All energy, he said, Donald Trump said groceries, fuel, and all energy have dropped. Partially true, but misleading. Crude oil prices have dropped. Brent crude went from $80 a barrel to $64 a barrel, but this hasn't translated to lower consumer energy prices like gasoline. Overall, energy prices fell 2.4% in March due to petrol, but natural gas and electricity costs rose. This decline is tied to global market factors, not Trump's policies, and tariffs may push prices up. Tariffs will push prices up. And Sean Farage is being dishonest with his audience by not telling them what's really going on.
But what really killed us with inflation was the price of energy. It went up to $3.90, even $4, and in California, $5 and $6, right? Okay. I have it down to $1.98 in many states right now. When you go that much...
He's just a freaking lie. It's just a lie. It's a lie. Sean, why aren't you pointing out the lies? Who do you serve? You serve the Republican Party. You serve MAGA. You bow down at the feet of Donald Trump because that's where you get your money. And when you tie money and you tie incentive to people who are telling lies, you can't expect them to tell the truth. This freaking drives me crazy. You've taken aside, Sean Farage, just like many other people have taken aside. You've taken the dark side and you've abandoned truth. It's no measure of good mental health to be considered well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society, and it is a profoundly sick society who demands that they be lied to by the Sean Farages and the Kyle Kalinskis and the Brian Tyler Cohens and the Fox Newses and the counterfeit news networks and the Meet the Presses of the world. They want to be lied to, and Sean Farage is just adding to the lies.
Lower on energy, which is ahead of my prediction, because I really thought I could get it down into the 250s. We have it down at $1.98 in numerous places.
He just keeps on lying. And just like Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough and you make it believable enough, then pretty soon in the minds of the people, a lie becomes a truth.
But when you say costs are going up, even mortgage rates are going down.
Well, but let me give you
He has nothing to do with mortgage rates, by the way. Federal Reserve has everything to do.
some examples. These are actual examples. So you're saying the prices that are going down, some prices are going up. Tires, strollers, some clothing in the wake of your tariffs.
Excuse me, that's peanuts compared to energy. Energy is 60% of the cost.
But sir,
And it's not going down. Energy is not going down. His whole premise is built on a lie. And Sean Farage and people like him, Dave Rubin, people on the right, are reinforcing that lie every day.
you
Energy is the big...
You campaigned on a promise to bring prices down on day
Well, I don't know. When
one.
you say strollers are going up, what kind of a thing? I'm saying that gasoline is going down. Gasoline is thousands of times more important than a stroller someplace.
But what are you
Well, guess what? Kristen Welker should have been on the ball on this, but she's not because she's a propagandist and she's letting the lies slip through. But Mr. President, gas prices haven't gone down. They've gone up. Stroller prices have gone up. And why did you focus in on strollers? Because I prefaced that with tires. How about tire prices? How about computer parts? How about them going up? How about automotive parts going up? How about groceries going up? The very staples, the things that people need to survive. Energy costs are going up. Groceries are going up. Everything's going up, including gas. And you're lying, Mr. President.
Say to Americans who say they voted for you because they want and they need relief right now.
And they're getting it.
Right now? What about those
even mortgage rates?
different items I just
mortgage
mentioned?
rates are going down, despite the fact that we have a stubborn Fed.
But you said even dolls could cost a couple bucks more.
Maybe they might, but you don't need to have, as I said, $35. You can have 2, 3, 4, and save a lot of money. We don't need to feed the beast.
That was one of the most telling exchanges in that interview where Trump literally said, look, I'm bringing your energy costs down.
Shawn, it's a freaking lie. And he doesn't even do any cursory research to help his audience. None. We all have AI. Everybody's got Google. You can do cross references. You can do researches. You can find out and you can give your audience true and accurate information, or approximately accurate information. But he is broad brushing, saying energy prices are coming down, gas prices are coming down. Trump is right. Just, Shawn, put down the Kool-Aid. Stop guzzling. He's not even sipping the Kool-Aid. He's not even drinking the Kool-Aid. He's funneling the Kool-Aid. And this is the face of somebody who chooses to be a propagandist instead of somebody who chooses to tell their audience the truth.
When the energy costs
follow the money
come down, it helps lower the costs across the board because it makes it more affordable to do business. Keeping your lights on, energy, right? That electricity has to be produced somewhere. AOC thinks it comes out of the wall. She doesn't understand there's no electricity ferry inside the outlet, right?
He's such a straw manner. He makes such a straw man argument. AOC is out to lunch. AOC is against us. AOC is a freaking socialist, democratic socialist. Hey, she wants to transfer wealth. Okay. That's what AOC's in there for. We can pick on some very specific things. She thinks that electricity comes out of the wall from electricity ferries. This guy has no argument and he's got no basis. He has no tree roots in the truth.
Right? He's saying, look, yeah, the price of some stuff has gone up, but it is inconsequential stuff.
Gas prices have gone up. Is that inconsequential? Grocery prices have gone up. Is that inconsequential?
I saw Krasenstein yesterday on X or today.
Brian and Ed Krasenstein, just two other propagandists for the left. So you got the propagandists on the right. You got the propagandists on the left. Mucking everything up for everybody.
Let's go bitching about, well, this dress is going to cost. So buy an American dress. I mean, it is unbelievable. She's like, well,
buy an American dress, which means buy a more expensive dress.
You
lower quality, more expense.
Said you were going to bring prices down on day one. Strollers cost more. You lied. He's like, energy is much more important than, okay, when you bring down the price of energy, it impacts everything, right? If you bring down the price of a stroller, it doesn't impact anything except the price of the stroller.
That's not how it economics doesn't work like that, Shawn. It's not in a vacuum. Oh, only stroller prices have gone up. Stroller has plastic in it. It has metal in it. It has rubber in it. It has netting. It has things that the stroller, it doesn't just appear. You have to get the raw materials from other places where the products, the price to buy those raw materials has gone up. And they're going to continue going up. And we haven't even hit the avalanche of tariffs yet. Or the avalanche of tariffs hasn't hit us yet.
Knows that. Kristen Welker knows that. But she's a jackass. That's why, she's fake news.
Yes, she is. And Trump's a liar. Kristen Welker is fake news. She's a liar and Trump's a liar. And now you're a liar because now you're covering for the lies of your guy while you're slamming the lies of the other people.
Well, we want every question to be fair. That wasn't a fair question. What is more important, the cost of energy or the cost of a stroller or a doll? I get it. If you're a parent and you need to buy a stroller and the stroller's more expensive than you thought it would, that's an inconvenience.
No, it's an expense that people can't afford. And it's not just the stroller, Sean. It's the fruits and vegetables. It's chicken. It's eggs. Everything's gone up.
But at least the money that you're spending in gas to go get the stroller is less. At least across the board, now that the cost of energy has started to come down, the overall cost of doing business will start to come down, which means these businesses can start to relax how expensive some of their products are, and have
businesses are right now reorganizing and laying people off because they expect a recession to come. And why do they expect that? Because they expect the avalanche of tariffs to hit them. Consumers are not going to be able to afford the prices that the tariffs are going to bring.
Come because of energy costs. The price of a stroller does not impact the price of anything else. The price of energy impacts the price of everything else. But Kristen Welker wanted to try and play gotcha. Well, you said on day one you'd bring prices down. So let me scroll through. Dolls are more expensive. And are Americans really going to be put on the street out of their homes because, Barbie dolls are more expensive now?
What a myopic, dishonest view, Sean. You really should be ashamed of yourself, but they won't be. Because you can't expect a man to come to the knowledge of the truth when his paycheck is attached to him not telling the truth.
Or are Americans going to save money at the pump, save money on their electric bill, save money on heating and air conditioning, and all of those energy-related costs because the overall price of energy has come down? And Welker knows that.
And then he says this about Kristen Welker.
But she's a tool. She's a propagandist. All right, let's keep going.
Yes, she is a propagandist, just like he is a propagandist. And conveniently, what Sean Farage did not cover is this question and answer by Donald Trump.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know.
as
It
much.
seems it might say that, but if you're talking about
the Fifth Amendment might say that all citizens have due process, but I don't know. I got lawyers. They're brilliant. They take care of that stuff. That's the President of the United States, Sean Farage. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. Things are getting really, really crazy. And I think they're going to get crazier when the tariff wave comes in. Like this video, share this video, and I will see you in the next video.